أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين محمد وأهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين واللعنة على أعدائهم من الآن إلى يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد والفرقان الحميد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي زدني علما صدق الله العلي العظيم. Right, I've sent is anyone from just the Quran group? I know Sister Ramji is only from that group. Is anyone else just from the Quran group who are just Sheikh, is the timing for Vancouver? Shabnam, is the timing for Vancouver? I'm not sure what time you set it for. Yeah, join in, Sister Shabnam. Bismillah. It's an open class for everyone. All the students from America, Canada, and Vancouver. It's an open class for everyone. It's just to help and support yourself with this 30 of Juz. So I'll be going over some of the things and giving you additional things. So it's not going to be a repetition as such, but it will be additional content as well I'll be giving as well. So let me send this across to yourselves in Vancouver. Yeah. Okay, that's it. I've sent that across now. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajam. First of all, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for everyone joining. So the reason why I'm doing this class is that I don't want you to fall behind because as many of you are working and you can't attend the Tuesday class or neither the Friday class. So what I'm doing now, Brother Kian, okay, Brother Kian, I'll send this to yourself. And then you can send it into the Hausa group if there's any Hausa students there. Is anyone else from the Hausa who's attending? No, I'll do that's fine. So inshallah, let's start, and I'm not going to waste any time. So last week, last session itself, I started with the imperatives itself, how to make the imperatives. And today what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through some of the other verbs on the same pattern just to help and support yourself. So everyone knows how to make the imperatives. I'll go through some basic verb and then go through some different verbs to explain for you. Let me just do this one. Yeah. Now, as you know, the imperatives are made from the second person. Itself. So what you do to make the imperatives is that, number one, to make the imperatives, you drop the ta itself from the beginning. You drop the ta from the beginning. And once you drop the ta, you are in a situation that the first letter of the three-letter verb, the dal, is silent. So because it's been silent, we have to bring a Hamzatul Wasl. Hamzatul Wasl is only been brought in because the dal itself is silent. And once we bring the Hamzatul Wasl in, step number 3 is that we have to give it harakat. We need to give it an i'rab. What will be the i'rab for the actual Hamzatul Wasl itself? Now, for the Hamzatul Wasl, the i'rab which can be given to it, where is it called? So for the Hamzatul Wasl itself, when it comes, there's an i'rab which has to be given to it. So step number 3 is that once we add Hamzatul Wasl, we look at the ta. So we look at the ta and see what harakat does it have. The present tense has only 3 harakat. The present tense can only come with 3 harakat. Either it comes with a dhamma, either with a fatha, or either with a kasra. And if the middle letter, the ta, comes with a dhamma, then the Hamzatul Wasl which comes in the beginning will be given a dhamma. That's step number 3. Step number 4 is that the last letter of the singular verb for the masculine, it's made silent. And it becomes, from taktubu, it becomes uktub. Okay? Step 4. Step number 5. Step 5 is that taktubani, taktubuna, taktubina, taktubani, these 4 verbs, these noon represents the present tense being in the state of dhamma. As we can see, the dhamma visible on the singular. So the singular verbs, taktubu, yaktubu, that actually will show you what state the present tense is in. As you may remember from the last lesson, that I mentioned that the present tense has 3 states. It either can come with a dhamma, which is the original state. The second state is that when the present tense, the last letter, the singular, has a sukoon. Number 2. Number 3, it's that the last letter of the singular comes with a fatha. So dhamma, sukoon, or a fatha are the 3 i'rabs for the present tense. And the hamzatul wasl, when the middle letter comes with a dhamma, then the hamzatul wasl comes with a dhamma. The jul, taktubani, taktubuna, and taktubina, and taktubani, in these 4 scenarios, the noon are dropped because these noons are representing the singular dhamma, which is shown in the singular form. That's the reason why it's dropped. So it becomes taktubani to uktuba, taktubuna to uktubu, taktubina to uktubi, taktubani to uktuba. However, the 6th form of the imperative, this noon remains intact because this noon is the sign of, oh, sorry. Apologies.
You are not sharing the screen, I guess.
Okay,
Share.
sorry, I didn't realize. I didn't realize that. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go through it again.
Sign of Monas.
Yeah, so taktubu, all of these, first of all, all the tas from the imperatives is dropped, number 1. Step number 2 is that the kaf in taktubu, the kaf is silent. Because of the kaf being silent, we have to bring the hamzatul wasl. If the kaf wasn't silent, if it had a haraka, then there is no need to bring hamzatul wasl. So hamzatul wasl is an alif which comes in the front of the imperative to be able to read the word. Because once we drop the ta, the kaf is silent. You can't read a word which is silent. So we bring the hamzatul wasl. And step number 3 is that we look at the middle letter. What is the harakat of the middle letter? If it is a dhamma, then the hamzatul wasl is given a dhamma. Step 4 is that taktubu, the last letter of the dhamma, changes to a sukoon and it becomes uktub. Step 5, taktubani, taktubuna, taktubina, taktubani, all of these noons are dropped because they are a sign of the present tense being in the state of raf, ra, fa, ain, which is denoted or represented on the verb in the singular forms with a dhamma. So it becomes taktubu to uktub.
I don't understand this point. Why the noon is going to drop?
Noon is a sign of the present tense being in its original form. So when the verb is changing from the original form, then the noon is dropped. So the imperative, the amr itself, it is a state of the present tense being in the state of sukoon. Can you see it? Uktub.
Yes.
Because uktub, it's silent in the singular. Now, when the present tense is silent, so what happens is that in the dual forms, dual and the plural, the noons have to be dropped to represent that they are in a different format and in coming in a different meaning. So before, taktubu means you are writing. But when we say uktub, the meaning has changed as well now. Uktub, it's an order. It's an imperative. When you order a person in front of you, uktub means to write. And okay. So uktub, uktuba, uktubu, uktubi, uktuba, uktubna. As I gave you examples from the Quran as Surah Alaq, iqra, qara'a, qaf, ra'a, hamza, and yaqra'u is the present tense, and the imperative is iqra. Iqra means to recite. Okay. Is this clear so far?
So is it easy to make the imperative from the past tense, or is it easy to make it from the present tense?
You cannot make it from the past tense. It's always made from the present tense.
Okay.
Because you have to look at the middle letter of the present tense and the actual, if you look at the conjugation, taktubu to uktub, taktubani, uktuba. So you just drop the ta and the noon. It's not like the past tense at all. So it's always made from the present tense. And then taktubuna becomes uktubu. Taktubina becomes uktubi. Taktubani becomes uktuba. And taktubna becomes uktubna. Any questions for those who missed the actual session last time?
Why the noon in the sixth one is remaining?
Sorry?
The
noon?
now, yeah.
Sister Kulsum or any of the sisters, I want you to answer this question now.
This is for a plural of and feminine, so that's why the sixth.
Yeah. The reason exactly, Sister Huma's answered the right question, saying that this noon here, it's not the sign of the present tense being in the state of it, dhamma, but it's a symbol, it's a pronoun, which is attached to the verb, representing you all females. You all females wrote or write. Is that clear?
So in the third one, where it says you all male write.
Yep. The waw here is the sign of plural for the masculine itself. The alif come, and the other point number 6 is that when you drop the plurals of the noon in the plural forms, after dropping the noon in taktubuna, we replace it with an alif at the end just to protect the waw is not confused in the meaning of and. So that's one of the things happens. That's a note to be added, that once we drop the noons in the plurals of the masculine, we bring a alif.
So over there we brought the alif, and over here we just let the noon to be there.
Yeah, here we have the alif. Yeah, in the plural masculines we have the alif, and over here uktubna, this noon remains intact in all of the 3 forms for the present tense. Okay. Right. Brother Kian, are you there?
Yes, Sheikh.
Bismillah, can you do the rest of the class, please? I can trust you.
I'm worried about misleading people.
No, that's fine. Inshallah, we are on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. We're not from the followers of someone else.
Alhamdulillah.
So tadribu, can you explain to the class how the imperative and what happens with the i'rab of the Hamzatul Wasl as well? Go ahead.
Okay, sure. So tadrib, you're going to drop the ta. As you mentioned, the first step is dropping the ta, because that's the letter that indicates present tense, the huruf al-muzari'. So you're going to drop the ta, and then you're left with the same problem where the fa'ul fail, which is the da in this case, the first letter of the 3-letter word, is going to be sakin, and you can't start the word with a sakin letter. So we bring the hamzatul wasl to give us a mutaharrik letter to start with. And now we need to decide, is that going to start with a dhamma or a kasra? So we look at the ainul fail here, which is the ra, and the ra has a kasra on it. So we know that if the ainul fail starts with either a kasra or a fatha, then the hamzatul wasl is going to also have a kasra. So we're going to add an to the start. And then the last thing we want to do is we're going to want to get rid of the alamatul raf, or this. I don't know. Did we cover that in or raf so far? Okay.
Yeah. It's a sign of the present tense being in original form. Alamatul.
Okay. The sign of the present tense in the original form. So in this case, it's going to be the dhamma on the ba. So you have a sakin ba at the end. So essentially what you're left with is idrib.
Excellent. And the rest of them, the dual and the plurals?
So same concept with step 1 and step 2 remains the same essentially for all of the hazir second person. So once you have ascertained that you're adding a hamzatul wasl with the kasra on it, you don't need to keep thinking about it. They're all going to be idrib, and it's just the ending that you have to figure out. So for the rest of them, so for forms 7 and 8, for the dual and plural of the male, we don't have the dhamma, which represents the sign of present tense in its original form. What we have is the noon. So we're going to drop the noon in this case for both of them. Instead of making the last letter sakin when it's dhamma, you drop the noon. So you have, instead of, you go from idrib to idriba to idribu. And then when you go to when you continue, it's the same thing. You drop the noon and you have idribi. You go to the dual feminine, you drop the noon, idribane. But then when you get to form 12, you have to remember that form 6 and 12 in present tense don't have any status. They don't have any i'rab. There is no anything that indicates present. The noon here is not an indicator of present tense. The noon is actually the it's the fa'il. It's like the doer of the verb here. So you can't get rid of the doer of the verb. You have to keep it. So it doesn't become idrib. It becomes idribna. You keep the noon here.
Excellent. And another point to mention, Brother Kian, is good what you mentioned. If we actually drop the noon here, if we drop the noon and it becomes idrib. So you've seen this, idrib and idrib. So what you're doing is that you, one masculine hit, and you all females hit, is becoming the same. So you can create more confusion, whether you're referring to one masculine or the plural of all masculines itself. Do you see the point? Brother Kian?
Yes, of course.
Okay, brilliant.
But there are, in the present tense, there are verbs which are like the same.
Yeah, I know.
Like
that's right. Those are permitted, but this one, because those itself, you could tell from the context. But here, this noon is a necessary part of the language, and the Arabs have added this noon with a fatha to be added to the plurals of the masculine itself. So that's the reason why we don't have a second option available to us itself.
You mean plural of feminine, Sheikh?
Yeah, plural of the feminine, yes. So
Okay.
the ribna, this noon remains intact in all of the three states for the present tense, when it has a dhamma, when it has a sukoon, or when it has a fatha. So can you conjugate, Brother Kian, all of these 6 forms, please?
Idrib, idriba, idribu, idribi, idriba, idribna.
Excellent. Now, I want you to move on to the next one, which is this one here, iftah. Explain, why is it iftah? Why can it not be uftah?
So the same reasoning is because the ayn al-fi'l in this case is a ta, the middle letter of the 3-letter word, which is the ayn al-fi'l. The ta here has a fatha on it, and whenever the ayn al-fi'l has either a fatha or a kasra, when you add a hamzatul wasl for the imperative form, it's going to have a kasra on it. So it's, you don't have ufta, because it would, in order to have ufta, it would need to be uftu. So you don't have that. If it's ta or te, then you're going to have e at the front. So you could have ifta, you could have ifte, but you couldn't have iftu. You would have uftu. I know I'm making up words as I go, but just to, for the sake of discussion.
So literally, the hamzatul wasl has 2 states. Either it comes with a dhamma when the middle letter is with a dhamma, or either if the middle letter is with a fatha or a kasra, the hamzatul wasl will come with a kasra.
Yes.
Correct. And can you now go through the conjugation from taftahu? It becomes
so iftah, iftaha, iftahu, iftahi, iftaha, iftihna, iftahna.
iftahna. Excellent. Is this clear for everyone? And does this refresh everyone's memory?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, next phase, Brother Kian, I want you to do this again, because I want to train you up as well to teach, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Let me just find the verb. Okay, where is it gone? Let's do this first. Okay, Brother Kian, I want, first of all, because we're doing Surah Nas, the past tense, the first word in the Surah Nas is qul a'udhu. So the qul itself, it's a imperative, it's an order, but before we reach to the imperative, the past tense of qul is qala.
Yes.
Originally it was qawala, but it was changed to qala. Correct?
Yes.
Now I want you to conjugate. Qala means, qul means say, and qala means he said.
Yes.
Now, I want you to kindly conjugate for me the forms for me, please.
So
Past tense.
qala, just of the mazi.
Yes, Madhi.
So you would have qala.
It's on the screen as well.
Oh yeah, sure. Qala, qala, qalu, qalat, qalata, qalna.
Qulna.
Sorry, yes, qulna, because you're in the pattern of yaqulu. So you have qulna here. Then you have qulta, qultumma, qultum, qulti, qultun. Yes, qulti, qultumma, qultunna. And then you have qultu, qulna.
Right. I got a question now. The question is this. I'm deliberately making the question of myself, that all of the other verbs like kataba, kataba, katabu, when we reach the form number 6, we said katabna, they all females wrote. But over here, in the past tense, form number 6, it becomes qulna. It changes from a fatha to a dhamma. Why does that happen?
Because you have it's one of the qawada i'lal, and in this case qawala is an ajwaf verb, so it's the mu'tal letter is the middle letter, it's the ayn al-fa'il.
I don't understand. I'm deliberately saying this. I do know what you're saying, but
yes.
What does huruf al-mu'tal mean in English?
Oh, so huruf al-mu'tal is going to be it's like a sick, we call it sick letter, so it's going to be an alif, a ya, or a vav.
Yep.
Or wow, I should say. And if any of those 3 letters appear in a word, then you say that word is mu'tal. And any of those 3 letters can appear in either the fa'ul fi'l, ainul fi'l, or lamul fi'l. Or you can have both of them as well, and that's kind of its own thing. But just to keep it simple, it falls in one of the 3 spots of a 3-letter verb. And depending on if it's the fa'ul fi'l, ainul fi'l, or lamul fi'l, it's good. You would call it either mesal, ajwaf, or naqis. So they each have their own category.
Yeah. So that is mithal ajwaf. They haven't done this yet. Mithal ajwaf and naqis, but yeah. So of course. So what he's trying to say. Let me explain to the class. So the actual huruf al-illa can come in the beginning of the verb, middle of the verb, or the end of the verb. Now each of these different categories, when the weak letters come, there is a name given to them. We'll do that later. But the main thing I want to ask yourself, why is it qulna? Is there a formula? I've told the class, some of the class, the formula already, that you need to go to the present tense to look for what will be the i'rab for the 6th form of qala. What do you need to check?
You want to check what the first form of the present tense is. What pattern does it fall into?
Correct.
And if it falls into the pattern of yaf'ulu, then in the 6th form, you're going to have a of mazi when you start mazi ma'lum. So forms 6 through 12, I think that becomes. Then you get a dhamma, and if you're in the pattern of yaf'elo or yaf'alo, then you get a kasra. So it's kind of similar to the hamza rule for
very good point. Very good analogy. I like the analogy. Okay, now I'll explain to you.
But why in this qulna? Where is that wow, alif, or ya? Which
we'll explain. I'm going to explain this now. So what happens is that the verb qala, the present tense is yaqulu. Present tense of qala is yaqulu. So yaqulu, after the ya, you look at what haraka is there after the ya itself of the present tense. If it has a dhamma, then the past tense in the 6th form will also, the first letter will have a dhamma. This is a ruling which the Arabs have made. So it becomes qulna. And if the present tense comes on the pattern of either with a fatha or a kasra in the middle, a fatha or a, write this down please, if the present tense of a weak letter comes either with a fatha or a kasra, then the past tense 6th form, they all said will come with a kasra, like hamzatul wasl. When the middle letter in the present tense comes with a dhamma, the hamzatul wasl comes with a dhamma. If the present tense middle letter comes with a fatha or a kasra, then the hamzatul wasl comes with a kasra. I'm going to share those verbs shortly with you. But Brother Kian, I want you to continue and conjugate the remaining. Kulta,
Qulta, qultumma, qultum, qulti, qultumma, qultunna, qultu, qulna.
excellent. Now, the present tense of qala yaqulu is yaqulu. Yes, Brother Kian?
Yes.
Now, can you conjugate? Now, let me bring someone else, and then I'll ask you some more questions on this. There's someone called Arthur Lawrence Management. Would you like to come on the mic, brother or sister? I'm not too sure which.
It's me, Farwa Jafri. So sorry, I forgot to change my name.
Okay. Bismillah. Yaqulu.
Sure, I'll just say my name quickly. Yaqulu means he says.
Yep.
Yaqulani, they too say.
Correct.
Or will say. Yaquluna, they all say or they all will say.
Correct.
Now moving to the third person feminine form. Taqulu, she says. Taqulani, they two women say. Yaqulna, they all women say.
Correct.
Then second person male is Taqulu, you one male are saying or says. Taqulani, you two men are saying or will say. And then the third form is Taquluna, you all men are saying or say. And then moving to the feminine form, Taqulina, you one female say or are saying. Taqulani, you two females are saying. Taqulna, you all females are saying. And then moving to first person, Aqulu, I say, and Naqulu, we say.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. Now the imperatives. Is this clear for everyone so far? Is this clear for everyone? Sister Atiyah,
Yes.
Fatima, is this clear for you?
Yeah, thank you.
It's not clear to me from when you start using them in past.
Okay, it's just a ruling is that just remember that any verb, just remember this, Bukhari. So some things in Arabic, you accept them as they are. So remember that whenever there is a verb which has a weak letter in the middle, which being qawala. Remember I said qala, original is qawala. Okay? And the present tense, if it comes with a dhamma, if the present tense comes with a dhamma, then the sixth form in the past tense, the first letter will come with a dhamma. Okay? And if
after from the 6 to the end, right?
Yes, 6 to the end, yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you two verbs now. I'm going to give you two verbs which I haven't given you before, but I'm giving you now. Write this down. I'm going to give you the conjugations as well. The two verbs I'm going to give you, it's khafa, in the word khawf.
Yes.
What does khawf mean?
Dar.
Fear. Khafa, yakhafu. So khaf, kha, alif, fa. Kha, alif, fa, khafa means he feared. And the present tense is yakhafu. The present tense is yakhafu. Ya, kha, alif, fa, yakhafu. Now here, yakha, the kha in the present tense has a fatha. Correct? So the past tense conjugation, let me just see if I got it on the screen.
It's gonna be khafa, khafa.
Just one second. Let me. I've got it. I've got it. Everything ready on the screen. There you go. Can you see? Can everyone see this now on the screen? Can everyone see on the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Sister Wajda Bukhari, I'll read it now. Khafa.
Khafa, khafa, khafu, khafat, khafata, khifna. So why it's kasra here, not the
This is the ruling. This is the ruling.
Okay.
This is the ruling.
So how do we understand this like ruling, like where we used to use
what
have.
you need, yeah, exactly. This is the thing. You just look at the present tense. Look at the present tense after the ya. What harakat does the first letter of the three-letter verb have? If it's a fatha or a kasra, fatha or a kasra, the past tense sixth form will come with a kasra. If the present tense after the ya has a dhamma, then the sixth form in the past tense, first letter will come with a dhamma.
Okay, perfect. So we were here. Khifna, khifta, khiftuma, khiftum, khifti, khiftuma, khiftunna, khiftu, khifna.
Okay. Does anyone have a copy of the Quran with them? Anyone has a copy of the Quran?
Yes,
sir.
yes, I have.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Surah Maryam. Surah Maryam, verse number 5.
What number, sir?
Surah Maryam, verse number 5.
What's the number for the Maryam? Surah Maryam?
Let me show you now. Give me 2 seconds.
19.
Let me send it
80?
across to you now.
It's Surah number 19.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Let me just send it across now. Now I'm giving you examples, practical examples from the Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال رب إني وحن العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا ولم أكن. Sorry, not this one.
The next one.
وإني خفت الموالية. So here, surely I fear my cousins. وإني خفت. Here, خفت. خاف, خافا, خافوا, خافت, خافتا, خفنا. They all feared. And I feared is خفت.
Oh, okay. Oh, so beautiful. Wow.
Okay. Do you want me to send them across to you? Examples? I'll send you some examples from the Quran. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to send this across. Give me 2 seconds.
What will be for the nahnu?
Khifna.
Okay.
Is that clear for everyone? And I gave you some other examples as well. Khifti, khifto. And in Surah Qisas, the narratives. Let's go to Surah Qisas. Surah Qasas, afwan. Surah Qasas, verse number 7. Surah Qasas, which is Surah number 28, verse number 7. وأوحينا إلى أم موسى أن أرضعيه فإذا خفتي عليه فألقيه في اليم.
Sorry, what ayat number was it?
Brother Kiyan, he put it on the screen for you already. Ayat number 7. Ayat number 7 of Surah Qasas. Giving you examples of the weak letter in the middle. Now here, found it, everyone?
Yeah, Awhayna, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
وأوحينا إلى أم موسى أن أرضعيه فإذا خفت عليه. فإذا خفت عليه. When you feared. Who are you referring to? You're referring to the mother of Musa alayhi salam. Khifti.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Can you see what I'm doing now? So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to prepare your understanding of Quranic conjugation of the verbs. That I'm giving the past, present, and imperatives, so that in one surah of the Quran, if you do one surah of the Quran, I open a complete ocean of vocabulary for you in the Quran itself. So the Arabic language, it gives you patterns. Once you know one pattern, then you are able to find other verbs which come in the same pattern, and you'll know how to conjugate it and what it comes. Okay?
अस्सलामुअलैकुम, मैं एक सवाल पूछ सकती हूँ?
Bismillah, Nikat.
आपने मुझे ये समझ में आ गया फतहा कसरा का, लेकिन अगर ये आपने कहा था यकूलू में दम्मा था,
जी जी
तो दैट्स व्हाई थर्ड फॉर्म सिक्स फॉर्म जो है वो उसमें दम्मा था, ठीक है।
जी जी
लेकिन अगर उसमें वीक लेटर की वजह से, वाव की वजह से, लेकिन अगर उसमें दम्मा होगा सेकंड लेटर में, तब भी वो दम्मा होगा सिक्स फॉर्म।
Yes, that's right.
ओके, या तो वीक लेटर है, वाव है, या दम्मा है, तो
Yeah,
बोथ केस
alif, either alif, wa, or ya, any of them. But normally, whenever there is a waw, a dhamma, the middle letter would be with a waw as well. That's the ruling.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
That's the
Okay.
normal ruling of the weak letters. Weak letters, whenever it's a waw, so whenever it's a dhamma, it should be a waw. Whenever it's a fatha, it should be an alif. And whenever it's a kasra, it should be a ya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maddi letters. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now, khafa yakhafu. Okay. Khafa, he feared. Yakhafu, he is fearing. Is this clear?
G.
Perfect. Okay. Let's move back now. Alayka khujai shuma.
Inshallah.
Okay, bismillah. Let's start from now. Taqulu. Explain, Brother Kiyan, how do we make the imperatives?
So we're going to go back to step 1, and we're just going to say, let's drop the ta, because we know we have to drop the huruf al-muzarada, the letter that makes it present tense.
Give me 1 second. Let me find it for you on the screen so that it'll be easier for everyone to. I think I've got it. Give me 2 seconds.
No worries. These are nice worksheets you sent as well.
These ones, yeah.
Yeah, they're good. I shared them with the Hausa group.
Yeah, these things, that's the thing I said. If you study Arabic language, which the way I teach it, everyone will be so strong in Arabic that even the ulama would say that you know Arabic well. And that is no exaggeration.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh.
Bismillah.
Okay, so bismillah. So you drop the ta and you have qulu. So we said rule for step 1 is dropping the ta. Now the only reason we said that in step 2 that you would add a hamza is because we said you ran into a problem where the first letter of the word was sakin and you didn't know how to start. But in this case, we don't really have that issue because the qaf, which is the fa'ul fi'l, in this case, it's mutaharik. We have qaf with a dhamma on it. So we have qul. So we don't need to say aqul or uqul. You know, we don't need to bring in a hamza here. That rule doesn't apply. So you don't add anything to the start and you go straight to step 3, which is getting rid of the indicator of the present tense or the alamatul raf, which in this case is the dhamma on the namud fi'l. So in this case, we're going to get rid of the dhamma. We're going to make it sakin at the end because we're in form 6. So in form 6, there's no noon. It's the dhamma. So we're just going to make it sakin. We drop the ta and we get qul.
Okay, the question is, brother, before you come to qul, it was
Oh,
qul.
yeah.
So there's
Sorry?
a waw and a lam. There's 2 silent letters. So what is the Arabic ruling when you have a weak letter and a silent letter together? As you call it, iltiqai sakinain, where there are 2 silent letters together.
So you're going to do qawad al-i'lal here. So the qul you have isn't actually qul. It's qul because the vav is gone. Because you have, as you mentioned, you have a sakin lam and a sakin waw right next to each other. And the rule is that the sik letter or the mu'tal letter is the one that's going to get omitted. So you're going to keep the lam, you're going to get rid of the waw. So you're just going to have qaf, which has a dhamma on it, and then the lam, which is sakin.
Excellent. So let me bring this imperative on the screen now. So where are you? Imperatives. That's it. So it will become
Qul.
Yep, qul.
And then you go qula. But in this case, so you have to always be careful with when you're doing these etlal rules, or when you're getting rid of these sick letters, because form 7 is it's taqulane. So when you get rid of the ta, it's always good to just go back to step 1. So you have taqulane, then you get rid of the ta, and you tell yourself, okay, well, my qaf is mutaharik. I don't need to bring a hamza in. There's no hamza to west necessary. So then you tell yourself, okay, let me drop the noon, because that's what we do when there's in forms 7 through 11. So I'm going to drop the noon, and I get ula. Well, in this case, now you don't have to do that same ruling of omitting the vav, because the lam here has a fatha on it. Because you can never have an alif with the letter before it not having a fatha. So even if there were no harakat here, you would know that when you have qula, that lam is not sakin. So it's qula, it's not qula. The vav stays.
I just got into the screen now, Brother Khan, as well. Make life easier. There you go. So,
oh, beautiful.
So you can compare both of them together. Taqulu to. Go ahead.
Yes, and then that concept of not having to drop the vav, as you can see, it stays all the way through, because if you look at the present tense forms of forms 7 through 11, it ends with ane, una, ina, ane, right? So when you drop the noon in all of these, you're left with the lam wal fi'l is still left with the harakat, whether it's an alif, a vav, or a ya. For example, qulu, quli, qula. So you never have to get rid of the vav or the wow. I keep saying it like Farsi. You never have to get rid of the wow in any of these forms. Only in form 7, and then again in form 12, because
So do it this way, Brother Kian. Go from taqulu to qul and make it easier for them to understand, everyone.
Okay, so one at a time. So taqulu, drop the ta, make the lam sakin, and then apply the rule where you have 2 sakin letters back to back, and you get qul. Get rid of the wow.
Correct.
Go to the next one. Drop the ta, and I'm going to omit. I won't keep saying it over and over. We all know that you don't need to bring hamza here, because the qaf has a harakat, so I won't keep saying it. Drop the ta, drop the noon. You have qula, and you notice that my la is not sakin, so no rule is applied from taqulane to qula. Next one, same thing. Drop the ta, drop the noon. You have qulu, and you tell yourself, okay, I don't have to get rid of my waw. Lam has a dhamma on it.
And one thing you need to remember, once we drop the noon in the plural of the masculines, we bring an alif at the end just to protect the waw.
Yes, that's a very fair point that I did not mention.
Yeah.
Taqulina, same thing. Drop the ta, drop the noon. Quli, okay, my lam has a kasra on it. No need to get rid of my dhamma. Taqulane, drop the ta, drop the noon. You have qula. Again, lam has a fatha on it. Here, you already don't have your vav, because in taqulna, you already had to get rid of it because of your sakin lam. So the edlaw has already been done here on this word. If you went one step back in this conjugation, it would be taqulna, and they dropped the vav here.
Excellent.
So you drop the so you just drop the ta, and we already discussed that in form 12. You don't get rid of the noon, so you just have qulna.
Excellent. Is this clear for everyone now?
Yes, clear.
Sister Sadiqa, Sister Fatima Mirali, good to see you.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Is it making more sense for you now?
Yeah, a little bit more. Thank you.
Love it more.
I know I said a little bit more.
Okay. I thought it was like, wow, that's a change of sentiments as well now.
Let's take it one step at a time.
Inshallah. Okay, Sister Salma, someone could, Sister Atiya, is it clear for you? I know you wasn't here in the previous class.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Sister Bilqis?
Yeah, inshallah, I will do some practice to get it proper.
Yeah, I'll give you
I can understand the concept. There's no issue in understanding that, but of course, I will need a lot of practice to just memorize all the steps.
I'll second that as well.
Yeah, let me give you 2 seconds. Give me 1 second. There should be one more verb I'm going to conjugate. Give me 2 seconds.
Can you send this tablet this about the full noun, full everything on the
what was that
group? تقولنا.
I've sent all of this. I've sent all of this. I'm just going to share something else now. I did this earlier on with everyone. So give me 1 second. Let me just get onto the screen now. Come on. Just give me 1 second. Perfect. Come on. One second. It's just loading. So the verb we did before is kana yakunu. Kana, it was or he was, and yakunu, it would be. So that's the verb which I'm going to share now on the screen, just for the practice itself. So give me 1 second. There it is. Just 1 second. Let it download. Come on. I do apologize. It's slightly light, but inshallah, I hope everyone can understand. Let's bring someone called Mushy iPhone. Mushy iPhone. I can't remember who it was. Or can I have someone called SH on the mic?
Because Mr. That's
Okay.
I'm the most, so I can't do it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. SH, can you come on the mic? SH. SH. All right. Then Sister Atia, as you're from India at the moment, you're doing some late
SH
night.
is me.
Sister Atia?
No, SH, Samina.
Okay, that's right.
Imani.
Okay, Sister Atia, are you there? Sister Atia, are you there?
I just got logged out.
Pardon? Okay, I can't hear.
I just got logged out. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Sure.
Yeah, can you conjugate the past tense kana?
Can't see it clearly though. I'm having a poor connection, it seems.
Okay, let me make it bigger. Is this clear for you now? Okay, can I have then Sister Farhat Ali? Sister Farhat, can you come on the mic, please?
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum salam, bismillah. Kana means he was or it was.
Kana, kana, kanu, kanat, kanata.
Kunna.
Kunna, kunta, kuntuma, kuntum, kunti, kuntuma, kuntunna, kuntu, kunna.
Yep. So kunna is normally written like this, but the form number here, this one here, you can write the two noons separately as well. So rather than put a shadda, you can put the two noons separate as well. Okay.
Okay.
So is this clear for you? It's same as qala, 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 qalu, qalat, qalata, qulna, kunna. So yakunu, the kaf here in the present tense of the yakunu comes with a dhamma.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent. Now I'm going to choose next on the mic, Sister Sister Fatima Mirali. Bismillah. Sister Fatima, Bismillah, come on the mic.
Okay, what would you like me to do?
I would like you to do the present tense, yakunu. Yakunu means it will be or he will be.
Okay. Yakunu, yakunani, yakununa, takunu, takunani, takununa.
Yakunna.
Oh, I think I just lost it there. So, okay, I'm just going to do takuna, takunani, yakunna, takuna,
Takunu.
takunu, takunani, takununa, takunina, takunani, takunna, akuna, nakunu.
Akunu and nakunu.
Akunu, nakunu.
Exactly. So this again is coming on the same pattern of qala yaqulu itself. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Perfect. Next person on the mic will be Sister Bilqis. Alaikum assalam. Sister Bilqis, I want you to now explain to me the imperative. Like qala yaqulu, it was qul. Here, kana yakun, takunu is to kun fayakun. Bismillah.
Okay, I'll try. The first step is to drop the alamat mazari, which is a ta.
Yep.
Because we are making it from the second person. So the ta will be dropped. The kaf already has a haraka on it. So we will keep it the same that way.
Correct.
And vav needs to be gone because it's a weak letter. And since it has a sukoon, takunu, and the noon will get a sukoon because it's a fele amr.
Yep.
So then two sukoons are coming after each other. So the weak letter should be dropped.
The waw is dropped and it becomes?
Yeah. So it will be kun.
Correct. Kun.
Kun. Okay. And going to the antuma, same thing, the alamate mazade needs to be gone. The kunu, since the kaf has a dhamma and the vav has a sukoon.
Yep.
So it will stay like that.
Correct.
Takuna. And the ending noon, the last suffix noon, it will be definitely gone because it's not a file and it's a alamate rafa.
Correct.
So it will be gone from all the four coming up forms. So the end the amr will be kuna for the two masculines.
Correct.
Okay, and the going to the next one is okay, the alamat mazari will be gone. Kaf has dhamma, so ku, nu, and the noon will be gone from here. We will put an alif to keep the u sound and not the wa sound.
Yep.
Okay, so that's done. Takunina, ta is gone. The kaf and waw. Kaf has a dhamma, waw has a sukoon, so it will stay like this. The noon and ya is a file, so it will stay. Noon is gone.
Correct. Becomes kuni.
Takuni, yeah, it will
No,
be
kuni, not takuni. Kuni.
Sorry, kuni, yeah.
Like a good example. Ya naro kuni bardan wasalam.
Yes, exactly. Okay, and the takunani, same as a takunani for the masculine. The dual will be the same for the feminine. And the last one is takunna. Ta is dropped. The kaf is the dhamma with the noon has a sakin.
Yep.
So takunna.
Takunna. Excellent.
Takunna. So it will become kunna. And noon will stay over here because this noon is not alamat rafi, but it is actually a file.
Excellent. Ahsanti. Now, next person I'm going to bring on the mic is going to be Zainab Nadiri. Sister Zainab Nadiri. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Now, I'm going to ask you to do something else now for me. What I'm going to ask you is that, you know, let's go. Let me just go to, actually, I'm going to do it this way. Now, the word qul a'udhu, the word a'udhu comes from the word adha, ain, waw, dhal. Ain, waw, dhal. And the present tense is ya'udhu. The present tense is ya'udhu.
Ya'udhu.
Like a'udhu means I am seeking refuge.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, adha is the past tense, which is on the same pattern as qala. So I would like you to conjugate adha's past tense, please. Adha.
Past tense.
Yes, adha. Go ahead. It's same as yep.
Okay, Aza, Aza,
Excellent.
Azu,
correct.
Azat, okay, Azatna,
Azata.
Azata, okay, Azata.
And then like this, Qulna.
All right.
And so the ayn and the dal is joined together, and a noon with a fatha, it becomes
Noon
of the fatha at the end, ayn and the dal joins together, ayn, dal, sakin, dhamma becomes udh.
Oh my God, sorry, Sheikh. I need some practice in there.
No. Stay on the mic, Sister Zainab. It becomes udhna.
Udhna, okay.
What does it become? Udhna. The original is ayn, alif, and dal. The sixth form, whatever the middle weak letter is, that drops. The ayn and the dal, which is the original letters, that remains, and the ayn is given a dhamma because the present tense ya'udhu has a dhamma, and it becomes udhna. What does it become?
Udhna.
Continue now. Udhta.
Oh my God, sorry.
Bismillah, Bismillah, you could do it. I believe in you. Come on, you're doing very well. Udhta. Udhtu.
Uztu, okay.
And we seek refuge.
Uzna.
Excellent, excellent. Now, let me show you some verses from the Quran with udhtu. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Ya Allah, how is everyone finding it?
We need some practice. I can understand, I get the concept, but I need to write a lot more.
Yeah, of course. The thing is, this is quite intense. So even the main thing is understanding. The rest itself, inshallah, will come by time.
Inshallah.
Fine. Wow. Wow.
Sorry, Sheikh, can I just ask you a quick question?
Yep.
You know, I think with the other sister previously, you were doing a verb. Is it kulna? But what was the verb? That, ala. And then you recited an ayah from the Quran.
Yep.
What was that ayah? Because I think my mum used to tell me to recite it when the children had a temperature.
Yes.
So
Ya naro kuni bardan wa salama.
So the kuni, what does that mean again?
Kuni means become for me.
Become
Kuni be. Kun, like innama kun fayakun. So kana, it was. Yakunu, it would be. And kun is be. And
so
the word ya naro, the word nar, fire, it's feminine. So you say, oh fire, kuni, you be cold. Naran, become a cold fire, a mild fire. Bardan was salama, cold and gentle. This is for Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam when he was put in the actual tandoor.
So the nar is feminine, so that's why we refer it to as kuni. Is that
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right. Can I request who would like to come? Sister Zainab Akbar. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Zainab Akbar. Sister Zainab, would you be able to kindly come on the mic? Okay, if that's not possible, then I will ask Sister Zainab Ramji. Sister Zainab, alaikum salam. Can you do for me the imperative, the present tense? Ya'udhu. Ada ya'udhu. Ya'udhu, he is seeking refuge.
Okay, so huwa a'udhu.
Huwa ya'udhu.
Sorry?
Huwa ya'udhu.
Oh yeah. Huwa ya'udhu. Huma ya'udhani.
Yep.
Hum ya'udhuna.
Correct.
Hiya ta'udhu. Huma ta'udhani.
Correct.
Hunna ya'udhna.
Correct.
Anta ta'uzu. Antuma ta'uzani. Antum ta'uzuna. Anti ta'uzina. Antuma ta'uzani. Antunna ta'uzna.
Correct.
Ana a'uzu. Nahnu na'uzu.
Excellent. Sister Homaz Devi, can you come on the mic, please, now, please?
Yes, Sheikh.
Can you do ya'udhu, please? Ya'udhu, he is seeking refuge or shelter. Ya'udhu.
Ya, Yauzo.
Yep.
And it will be, we are talking
present tense.
Present tense. Huh?
Yes. Yes, present tense, please. Ya'udhu.
Yauzo. You aza. What it will be? Yauzadani.
Ya'udhani.
Yauzani. Ya azlun. Ya uzluna.
Ya'udhuna.
Yauzuna. Ya
Ta'udhu.
Yazulu.
Ta'udhu. No. Ta'udhu. It's
Ta'uzu.
Yeah, write this down. Write this down first. It's ta, ain, waw, and dhal. Ta, ain, waw, and dhal. Ta'udhu.
Ta'uzu.
Yep.
Huma Tauzalani.
Ta'udhani.
Tauzani.
Yep. Then
Hunna Tauzlana. Tauzna.
Ya'udhna.
Oh, Yauzna.
Correct. Anta.
Tazulu.
No, ta'udhu. Ta'udhu. Yep.
Ta'uzuzu.
Correct.
Antma. Ta'uzuni.
Ta'udhani.
Ta'uzani.
Correct.
Antum. Tazu. Tazuna.
Duna. Correct.
Tazuna. Anti. Tazurina.
Ta'udhina.
Ta'uzina.
Correct.
Antuma.
Ta'udhani.
Zani.
And antunna.
Antunna.
Ta'udhna. Excellent.
Ta'uzna.
Ana.
Atuzulu.
A'udhu.
Auzu.
And nahnu.
Azulu.
Na'udhu.
Nauzu. I'm
Na'udhu.
completely lost in this word. You have the real word, so we can,
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now. First, I wanted to give you the difficult, and then I'll give you the easy. Because, because it's best to make the mistake, and then I'll give you the verb itself.
So we are talking about refuge.
Yes, seeking refuge. Like qul a'udhu. A'udhu means I am seeking refuge. So now I'm going to give you the verb, and now I want you to conjugate looking at it, because it's good you make the mistake without looking at it, and then when you look at it, you know what you've done is incorrect. Bismillah. Ya'udhu, he is seeking refuge. Bismillah.
Yauzu, Yauzani, Yauzuna.
Correct.
Tauzu, Tauzani.
Excellent. Ya'udhna.
Yudni.
Ya'udhna.
Yauzna.
Yep. Ta'udhu.
Tauzu. Tauzani.
Excellent.
Tauzuna.
Correct.
Tauzani.
Ta'udhina.
Tauzuna. Tauzina.
Correct.
Tauzani.
Yep.
Tauzna.
Correct.
Auza.
A'udhu.
Auzo.
Correct. And the last one is
Nauzo.
Na'udhu.
Nauzuna.
Na'udhu. Yeah, na'udhu. I need to add na'udhu on there. Excellent. Excellent. Right. Is this clear for everyone so far?
Sheikh, this is Kulsum.
Yes.
I have a request, please.
Yep.
These new
conjugation
conjugations that you sent via WhatsApp.
Yep.
For some reason, I'm sending it to I always send it to my email so I can print it out. And it's just saying it cannot print because it's exceeding the file.
Exceeding the file.
I don't know. For some reason, it is not. Is anybody else having the same problem? Because I was going to ask you.
Yes, I got it.
Were you able to print it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll try again. If I can't, is that Huma? I'll message you. Maybe you can email it to me then.
No, I've got it on. I will do. I'll send you as an email because everything I've saved it on Google Drive, so I can send it to you
Okay.
on Google Drive.
I
straight away.
thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know you have so much to do, so I don't want to burden you more.
Okay, no problem. So inshallah, as you're on the mic, Sister Kulsum, I want you to do the present imperative of ya'udhu. So which one I'm going to use? I'm going to go. Let me just find it where it is. This one here. So Ada, ya'udhu, and the present tense is ta'udhu. This is the last one, and then I'll end the class, inshallah.
Okay. It'll be
Yep.
uzza,
Udha.
udhu, udhi,
Yep.
udha,
Correct.
and udna.
Udhna. Excellent. We're getting there. We're getting there, alhamdulillah.
Slow, but alhamdulillah, yes.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajum. The reason why I had to do this class is that once I've done one conjugation with everyone, once you become familiar with the basic ones, then everything else fits in place. Like, for example, the handout which I've sent on the groups itself, like, for example, I've sent this one over here. Khafa yakhafu.
Did you send this one?
Yes, I've sent them across in the group, WhatsApp groups.
Khafa, I don't think so.
You should have it.
Is it in the whole thing?
No,
Yes,
sir,
we got it.
I
Yeah.
don't have.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, so
We
here,
got it in the group. You can see that.
okay, now khafa, let me explain it now. Khafa yakhafu. Past tense is khafa, khafa, khafu. Khafat, khafata, khifna. Then it becomes khifna here. So what it comes with a kasra, as I mentioned, when the present tense comes with a fatha or a kasra, the past tense, sixth form, comes with a kasra. So here, yakhafu to khifna, okay? Khafa means he feared, and yakhafu, he is fearing. The present tense is yakhafu, yakhafani, yakhafuna. Takhafu, takhafani, yakhafna. Then it's takhafu, takhafani, takhafuna, takhafina, takhafani, takhafna. Akhafu, nakhafu. Can I ask? Thank you.
Can I say something quickly, Sheikh? We didn't receive anything in our WhatsApp group.
Who's this?
Zainab Nadri.
Zainab, are you not in the Quran group?
I am, but I checked. I didn't receive anything.
Okay, let me just message
We
me.
got it. It's there. I saw it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's there.
right.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
One at a time he sent us. So there are
Yeah.
5 of them.
Okay, that's fine. I'll check it again. This is Zainab. Okay, now Sister Zainab. Who is there? I'm gonna Sister Zainab Akbar. Are you there?
Yes, yes.
Sorry.
Assalamu alaikum, Zainab.
Alaikum salam.
Sister Zainab Akbar. Now the present tense imperative. So the imperative of khaf itself is made from takhafu. Takhafu means that you are fearing. Okay.
Okay.
So we drop the ta.
Yes.
Step
Okay.
number 1. We drop the ta.
Okay.
Step number 2. We bring Hamzatul Wasl? Is there a need to bring Hamzatul Wasl or not?
Can you repeat that? I didn't get that.
Okay, is there a need to bring an alif in the beginning? No, there is no need. Because the word takhafu, the kha itself, it has a haraka. Because it has a haraka, there's no need to bring Hamzatul Wasl in the beginning in after dropping the ta. So we drop the ta and we realize that the kha has an alif and there is no need to bring Hamzatul Wasl. So we make the last letter, the fa, silent.
Okay.
And then we drop the alif. So that whenever there is a weak letter and a normal standard consonant, then the alif is dropped and the imperative becomes khaf.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The qala yaqulu's imperative is qul. Khafa yakhafu's imperative is
khaf. Okay.
Conjugate. Khaf means fear.
Okay. So
khaf.
Khaf with the present tense?
No, this one here, imperative, order, fear.
Okay. Okay. Khaf, khafa, khafu, khafi.
Yep.
Khafa. Khafna.
Excellent. Sister Wajda Bukhari, is this clear?
Yes,
I
it's
have to
clear.
ask you.
Yes, Sister Zainab.
Thank you.
So after khafna, don't I have to continue?
No, there's only 6 forms. The imperatives are only 6 forms. That's it.
Oh, okay. Okay, for khafa.
Yeah. Khafa, khaf, khafa, khafu, khafi, khafa, khafna. Right. Can I take 1 more minute of your time?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
1 minute. Thank you. What time is iftar time in America?
Oh, I'm in Canada. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Still time.
8:15. I have lots of time.
8 or after 8.
Okay, good. Give me this is the last one, and then I end the class. I want to do this because this is important. Sister Wajda Bukhari, or Sister Nigat Qasimi, any of you who wants to come?
Can I do?
Wajida is
Sheikh?
here.
Okay. Yes, who's calling?
Okay, this is Zainab Akbar. Sorry to interrupt. I just want you to add me to the WhatsApp group, please. I'm not getting any of these handouts.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Sheikh, can I say something?
Yep.
The students are not getting because there are 2 groups. One is the Monday G1 group. The other one is just 30 para group. So you have shared with the Arabic
Monday only. Yeah,
Monday
No,
only.
no, I've
That's
sent it
why
all
they are
groups.
not receiving.
I've said, okay, let me just double check it. I'll send it in all the groups. Give me 2 seconds.
I'm not in any of the groups.
Yeah, just message me now and I'll add you to the groups, inshallah.
Okay, thank you.
Just message me and I'll add you.
I did message you last week.
Okay, because I was slightly busy, maybe I missed your message because unfortunately I get so many messages and sometimes unfortunately I don't get the message because right. Inshallah, I'll message you. Can I request Sister Kauthar? Sister Kauthar, are you there? Okay, she's gone. Sister Wajda, can you come on the mic?
Yes, sure, I'm here.
Ba'a is ba, alif, and ain.
Yes.
Ba'a means he sold.
What is it?
Ba'a means sold.
Sold?
Yes. Bechna.
Okay. Okay.
And yabi'u.
Yabi'u is the present.
Yabi'u is the present tense. He is selling.
Yes.
So ba is what this
Ba'a
meaning?
means he sold.
He sold. Okay.
And yabi'u, he is selling. Now, I want you to conjugate the past tense. Ba'a. Please.
Ba'a, ba'a, ba'u, ba'at, ba'ata, bi'na, bi'tuma, bi'tum, bi'ti, bi'tuma, bi'tunna, bi'tu, bi'na.
So why is it bitna? Is because of the present tense. When we go to the present tense singular, it's yabi'u. The ba has a kasra.
Yes. So if it's kasra or fatha, it's gonna be kasra here, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And if it's dhamma there, then it's gonna be dhamma.
Correct.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. Is this clear for everyone now?
Yes, thank you.
Brilliant. Okay, now I'm going to make Sister Kauthar Sayyed or Nigat Kazmi.
Yes, sir.
Can you do present tense? Yabi'u.
Okay.
Yabi'u comes in the Quran quite often. Tabi'u means he is selling, or yabi'u, he is selling. So this is a verb which what I'm doing is that I'm giving you one pattern and then I'm giving you other conjugations which are coming on the similar pattern itself. So within one surah, I'm teaching you about 8 or 9 different verbs which will increase your vocabulary to about understanding about 15% of the Quran just by the changes of the vocab itself.
Okay. What's the meaning you said?
Yabi'u, he is selling.
He is selling. Okay. Yabi'u, yabi'ani, yabi'una. Tabi'u, tabi'ani, yabi'na. Tabi'u, tabi'ani, tabi'una. Tabi'ina, tabi'ani, tabi'na. Abi'u, nabi'u.
Excellent. Abi or Nabi'u. Is this clear?
Ji.
Okay, Sister Mukarrama Walji, you've been a bit quiet.
Sheikh, I'm a little bit confused, please.
Who's this?
Is Batul Damaniya Andani?
Okay, Batu, what's the confusion?
Where she was reading, because it's in Arabic, this ma'lum,
yep.
ma'lumun.
Yep. That's what we're doing. That's the present tense.
So ma'lum, the second part is the present tense, yeah?
Yeah, mudari ma'lum is the present tense, present active tense. Okay, we're doing this. Ba'a.
Present active tense, yeah?
Yes, active tense, that's right. Okay, yabi'u. Right, can I, okay, who's going to come next on the mic? Sister Salma. Sister Salma, are you there?
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam. Can you do present tense, please? Yabi'u.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yabi'u, yabi'ani, yabi'una, tabi'u, tabi'ani, yabi'na.
Correct.
Tabi'u, tabi'ani, tabi'una, tabi'inna, tabi'ina, tabi'ani, tabi'na.
Excellent.
Abi'u, nabi'u.
Excellent. Jazakallah. Thank you very much. Sister Mukarrama, Walji, can you come on the mic and the class now? I'm going to use the imperative. Bismillah. Imperative is yabi bit. So how do we make bit? Explain to the class. You should have the understanding to be able to tell me how I came to the imperative bit. The other one, qala yaqulu, was qul. Here it is bit. Go ahead.
So we remove the ta from the present tense.
Correct. Number one. Step number one.
And
Step number two.
The bay has a kasra, so we don't need to add hamzatul wasl.
Excellent.
And the ya indicates that there is a kasra.
Yep.
As there is no noon at the end, so it's bi', sell.
Yeah, so the ya is dropped, because there's ya and ayn, two silent letters together, the weak letter is dropped.
Yes.
So it becomes bit.
Bi'.
And tabi'ani, tabi'una, and tabi'ina, tabi'ani, what's happening there?
The ta is dropped. The ba as it is has a kasra. And the noon is also left. The noon has.
Yep.
So bi'a, the ya is retained in this dual.
Yep.
And there is so this alif at the end will show that it's two dual.
Correct.
And tabi'una, the ta is dropped.
Yep.
The ba has a kasra, no need of hamzatul wasl.
Excellent.
And the noon is dropped, so the alif comes at the end. Alif will be qaya.
Yep, alif al-waqaya, correct.
So it is B-O, as the waw will indicate that ayn gets zama.
Correct.
And tabi'ina, the ta is dropped.
Yep.
And bi'ina, and the ya at the end also is dropped, because you will get you will drop the noon and you will put the ya as a be.
Be, correct.
Be. Tabi'ani, ta is dropped, ba has kasra, and noon is dropped at the end, so it becomes bi'a. The alif indicates that it's a dual, or rather plural.
Correct. And finally,
Tabi'ana, ta is dropped, ba has kasra, no need of hamzatul wasl, and the noon is retained as a form, as indication of feminine.
Correct.
Because the first one is bi', and here if it was bi', then it would cause confusion. So it's plural, feminine plural. So the noon is retained as an indication that this is for you all females.
Excellent. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajam. Inshallah, I hope this was a good beneficial session. And
When are the next sessions now?
next session will be on Tuesday and Friday, the normal timing itself.
12 o'clock New York time.
New York time, 12 o'clock.
Okay, what about Monday? There is no class on Monday?
Monday, yes. In the meantime, I've halted the other classes Tuesday and Friday and Saturday for America as a revision for what we're doing itself, to get yourself within the, because I'm trying this new approach and I want to see the result of this, how everyone finds it itself, because there are other people trying to offer Quranic Arabic, but I feel this way, which the way I'm trying to teach, it's more useful and beneficial, and I just want to try it out and how people respond. Brother Kian.
Yes. So there will not be any class on Monday for Arabic book 2?
No.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
Sheikh, it's Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday,
Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, yeah.
and the time is 5 p.m. for UK.
5 p.m. UK, 12 p.m. for New York.
So both are all 12 at 12 p.m. for
both days, Tuesday and Friday, and then Saturday, it's going to be in the evening like today.
Oh, okay.
Brother, will you send it on the WhatsApp chat?
Yeah, I'll send the details in the group. Yeah, I'll send the
Okay,
details in the group, inshallah.
Thank you.
اللهم كن لوليك الحجة الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك توعا وتمتع فيها طويلا واجعلنا من أنصاري وشياتك وجندك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم. So inshallah, take care of yourself, everyone. It's the master dua.
Jazakallah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please do the homeworks as well. To write them out, send me voice recordings so I can listen into them, so that it benefits everyone as well, inshallah. Okay. Yep.
What should we write down?
Write these verbs out, some of the past, present tense down, so that you learn them properly. Just looking at them, you don't really memorize them. If you write them in your own handwriting and send me a voice note, that would be good and appreciated, inshallah. Okay.
Past, present, and Amar.